Hello, hey there. This is Benjamin. I want to say, first of all, I'm sorry to do this topic at this time when most of us are going through this pandemic of the coronavirus. This is not the video that I would like to do at this time. But as maybe you may know or you may notice, life must go on. And I earlier on, if you check my timeline, if you're going to watch this video for the first time, I did a video talking about the biggest lessons that we have learned during this time of the coronavirus. So I hope wherever you're going to watch me from, do not throw any stones to me. I'm not being insensitive. What I'm trying to do is to pursue the passions and the things that I like talking about through my channel, through my live shows, and I hope you're keeping safe as a man or as a woman. The short clip that I shared today was one of the mistakes that I'm going to share with you in this video. I'm calling them 13 mistakes, not because that they are only mistakes that you can make as a person, as a woman, as a lady, but just as a basis, like an introspection for you to do to your life, to reflect during this time, especially when you're just alone, you're there in your house, in your car, with a friend, with a family member. It's good to know that all of us make mistakes. And if those mistakes have taught you some lessons, you may be able to transfer these same lessons to your younger sister, to your cousin, to your daughter, or to a friend who may not know or realize that she is also going to make these mistakes. So drop in your comment there. I'm not going to be giving you shout outs. I will just dive in. What I'm going to request you as you watch this video, I haven't given you a summary of those 13 biggest mistakes any lady can make. What I'm going to request you is you can retype the mistake that I will talk about on the comment section, or better still, I'm just going to request you to do a favor. Get a piece of paper and a pen. Right here on my table, I have several papers, the notes that I've made basing on so many topics that I've been doing on my live shows. So I want to encourage you that if you want to get this same content and same message that I want to share with you today, go ahead and get a piece of paper and a pen. And then I will share with you what I want to say on this specific topic. The basis of this topic is I receive so many stories from people who watch my videos, both men and women. And these mistakes could be a man's mistake. But since most of those mistakes that I receive come from the ladies, I'm taking this opportunity to try and respond basing on my own experience as Benjamin. Being a man, I have dated, I've met women, and sometimes ladies want to hear a man's opinion. The men who are going to watch this video, I am sure, as I keep on sharing you these 13 biggest mistakes, some of them, some men will say, yes, Benjamin, I think you're saying the truth as a man's perspective. So once again, I apologize, whatever you're facing right now during this pandemic. This topic is not related to that. Our lives must continue. People will continue dating. And more importantly, people will continue making mistakes. I want to ask you a question. As I present to you this information or this message to you, what is the biggest mistake you have ever made when it comes to dating? I have so many mistakes that I've made. Some of them, I don't think I can be able to even go public and say them. It's part and parcel of life. Making mistakes doesn't mean that you're a weak person or you're a desperate woman or you are not intelligent. It only means that you're just a human being. And mistakes make you wiser. You become better. You learn. You grow. You become more powerful. You raise your standards. You begin loving yourself. You say no to more bullshit. And that's the best part of mistakes. So these 13 mistakes that I'm going to share with you, as you keep on sharing the video, please share the video, tag a friend, tag your best friend that has been going through, aside from the coronavirus, you know that she has been going through these challenges as a woman, as a friend, as a dear friend. Tag her on the comment, share the video to her inbox and all other Facebook groups that you belong to. Now, after having given you that first introduction, I want to start with the first biggest mistake. Once you hear it, you can write it down, or you can type the same mistake on the comment section so that the next person who's going to watch this video later on can see that. The first mistake, ladies think that they can get or they can find Mr. Right without meeting many men. Thinking that you'll find this fine, handsome young man without dating many men. The saddest reality, meeting the so-called Mr. Right these days, the probability or the chances that a woman can just, from nowhere, from Facebook, from just nowhere, you just bump into a man who is your Mr. Right or matches you. The chances and the probability of you getting this man are really low. The few women who have ever met this handsome or amazing man that sweeps off their feet and makes them their women of their lives are very few. Very few. And because finding this man, this Mr. Right, is not so easy these days. It's the same way where I work, in a company that I work for as a teacher, they are currently looking for another teacher. One of our teachers quit just before the corona kicked off. And what my company is doing is looking for one most available but more qualified, experienced teacher. That process of getting that teacher takes a long time because it's very important for the company. The saddest thing that a majority of ladies are facing these days is this. They work so hard in making better things in their lives. Maybe their health, their body, their mind, their soul. But when it comes to love and relationship, they focus on one man at a time. And believe and think that so long as I talk to this one person, even if it takes 2 years, I'm still going to learn if he loves me. The ladies who have done this, they will tell you as time goes, of course time is going as this video is going, you know that. As time goes, you come to realize that after 2 years, the man was not serious with you. What does that mean? You begin doubting the relationship and you try to get another man. And this process, this cycle goes on and on. So thinking that you'll find love with only one man is one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make as a woman. Men, as a man, as Benjamin speaking here, they are multiple daters. It doesn't mean that we sleep with all the women that we are talking to. Men are hunters. Out of the 10 women, he is trying to figure out who is the best candidate. And as I'll keep on telling and sharing with you the other biggest mistakes, you will realize that dating has changed. It's no longer like in the past, where you will say, okay, I'm going to remain a traditional, romantic, old school woman, focusing on one at a time. That is gone these days. You will never find or meet one man by sticking to one. But listen to this. It doesn't mean that every man you're going to talk with from this video, you have to sleep with them. Dating is not equal to sex. Dating equals to looking for the most applicable or potential candidate in your life. That's what you're doing. So do not mistake me on this one. And you see the tradition, like I can see a comment there. The saddest part is a lady says, so you want to tell me I should talk to several men? Absolutely, yes. That's what I'm saying. Because if you don't do that, then you stick to one person at a time. You don't have to talk to every man every day. It's not possible. You need time, you need space. What I'm trying to say is if you talk to man A, you check up with man B just to hear what he's saying, even if for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5, it doesn't hurt. Even during this time of the coronavirus, most people have all the time with their phones and internet. Dating is not equal to sex. So, hey, the first mistake is thinking that finding love, you will get it without trying so many men. And you may be lucky to find your Mr. Right on the first man or the fifth man. But as I'm speaking right now, and as you're listening to me, the chances and the odds of getting this man or meeting him stands at more than even 50. Not sleeping with 50 men. I want to repeat that one. You're not going to sleep with every man to find a Mr. Right. The point is talking to so many men, going for those lunch dates, dinner dates. Of course, during this time, you cannot physically have these dates. So what do? As I said in my short clip, talk to them, chat, phone calls, video calls. Whatever you want to do is you are trying to get the right candidate possible. I want to move on to the second biggest mistake that many ladies make. And I want you to listen to me this one. This one is very interesting. Thinking that the relationship is already exclusive. It's between you and that man. The most popular name that I've been using in my Facebook posts is Patrick. Some ladies get offended when I say Patrick has done this, Patrick has done this, Patrick has done this. So if you stick with this, let's call this man Patrick. You stick with him. I posted also a post today saying that Sophia has been dating a man for 11 months, not even dating, thinking that they are in a relationship. But the saddest reality is the man has never told her that they are in a relationship, that he is dating her. There's so many stories that I've received, so many ladies. Sometimes they assume because you're having a good time, you're talking, you're chatting, you're playing around, or you're meeting, or even having sex, and the man has not said anything about the relationship. That is one of the biggest mistakes that you're making in your life. You post him, you share his pictures, you create this image that you are in love with this man in front of strangers and followers. But the man has not even accepted or even told you or even agreed. And what you're doing, you are basically dating yourself. You are in a relationship with a man, but yourself. That is the second biggest mistake you can ever make as a woman. Now, the third mistake is this. I hope you have your pen and a paper and you're writing them down. Thinking that the modern dating is to blame for you being a single lady. Modern dating is to blame. These days, men flirt a lot. These days, it's very hard to find a single man. These days, all men want is sex and nudes. These days, men are not serious. And that is the truth. That's the honest truth. These days, men do that. Why? Because modern dating is not compared to the past. With your mother, with your grandmother, there was no Facebook. There was no Instagram. There was no WhatsApp. So these days, obviously dating has changed. People text multiple people at the same time. People talk to very many people at the same time. People Women have become so independent that they can satisfy themselves sexually. Women are making more money than men. And all these dynamics, and you think that modern dating is the reason why you're single? Yes, that is the truth. Is the dating has changed. So what should you do? I know you're going to ask me, so Benjamin, what can I do? It is simple. You have to accept that modern dating has changed and find solutions. How will you find these solutions? This is now upon you. And I'm speaking to a lady who has reached a point where you really want to make this thing serious with your life. Coronavirus aside, life is still going on. People are talking, people are flirting, people are video calling, people are planning to get married. Life is still going on. It has not come to an end. So find solutions of modern dating these days. And I want to move on. The fourth biggest mistake. I'm seeing some questions here. Modern dating, modern dating has changed. Fourth mistake that you can make is thinking that your feeling is telling you that he is the one. Ladies, let me ask you this question, or let me ask you because you're not all of you together. Have you ever felt that this is the one? The one. There are ladies who say when they begin chatting with a man, flirting with a man, talking with a man, they say the feeling told me that he is the one. This feeling has become one of the biggest mistakes to so many ladies. The one feeling makes you think that having met a handsome man, very intelligent, funny, very, very successful, or potentially being able to be together with you, that he is going to be together with you. And this feeling, most ladies think that it's going to last forever. The one changes. As you already know, the man that you met maybe last year, when you compare up to now, things are not the same. It's not the same excitement. The phone calls, the video calls, they're not the same. That's part and parcel of this journey on knowing the other person. If you make a mistake that within a few months that a man is in love with you, that a man is serious with you, you will make more mistakes. Because the only thing that you can do to save yourself is saying, okay, this man is really good. This man has swept my feet, flat foot down. For the first time, I feel I'm in love. But I want him to prove. And this is why I normally insist. If you have this feeling that he is the one, that is okay. We don't blame you. Maybe he is just too good for you. Take your time to see if he is going to prove that he is the one from his words and his actions. Take your time before you make the next mistake. The fifth mistake is thinking that men will start talking to you. Thinking that a man will approach you. Life has changed. My friends, my dear sister, let me call you my dear sister today. I want to ask you this question. Listen to this. When you walk into a supermarket, how many men approach you? Have you ever gone to a supermarket and find a handsome man coming straight to you and talking to you and saying, hello, hey, Mary, how are you? You look beautiful. Have you ever met that? What do men do, actually? Most men come to your inbox. They approach you from the inbox. They start the conversation from the inbox. And one reason is this. Many men, including me, I fear rejection. If you didn't know that, most men fear to be rejected. If I walk into the supermarket, I want to talk to you, and you assume me, or you don't talk with me, or you don't even smile back, it's a very bad feeling. Most ladies assume that the man has to start the conversation all the time, that this man has to always begin talking to me. And I know so many ladies say that men are not approaching me. I don't know what is wrong. Like, men fear me. I think men fear me. Obviously, they fear you. The men that I know will approach you are two kinds of men. The first one is a drunk man. A drunk man, if I'm tipsy, I will face you anywhere, any day, anytime. And that's why many ladies get approached when they're in a disco or in a drinking place. But in a public setting, a library, a cafe, McDonald's, Starbucks, men don't approach them. And because you're sitting there thinking that the man is going to initiate these interactions with you, time is going, nobody's going to talk to you, nobody's going to approach you. And then finally, then you have to begin approaching them. You have to begin approaching the men. So the biggest mistake you can ever make is thinking that men are going to approach you in your life. What can you do? Smile. If you're wearing the headphones and somebody's coming to approach you in a supermarket, be kind enough. Remove the headphones and listen to the guy. Give a beautiful smile. Make the man feel that you are not scary. Even though you're gorgeous and beautiful, you're just a human being. You're just a lady. And you really want somebody to talk to you. Create a peaceful environment, not an environment that chases every single man that come to talk to you. I'm moving on to the next biggest mistake, number 6. Most ladies think that they can never chase a man. These days, ladies say, I'm tired of chasing men. Why should I chase him? Why should I call him? Why should I be bothered with him? That is okay. It's good to raise your standards. It's good to be independent. It's good not to appear desperate like in my video on YouTube. I posted a video talking about signs of a desperate woman. It's very okay. Raise your standards, because there are many stupid men that are going to just waste your time. It's perfectly okay. The ladies who say they can never chase a man, do you know why they say that? It's because the men that they are trying to chase are very bad men, not the men of their standards, not the men of high quality or their type. That's why a woman will say, I will never chase guy. I will never chase Patrick. Patrick's just a time waster. Why should I call him? But there are many women also who have met a very young, decent, good man who is also independent, has a decent job, looks focused. He has his own insecurities. He has gone through his fair share of dramas in life. But the lady says, I'm still not going to chase him. And what the man does, he also doesn't chase the woman. I want to remind you this. Chasing doesn't mean you're desperate. Chasing means you are creating room for this person to talk with you, to get to you. It's like you make it a game. Let me try to chase him today and see if is going to chase me tomorrow. But if you just ignore and say, okay, I'm not going to chase him completely, let me just sit here in my house and wait for this guy to chase me. Honestly speaking, this is another mistake that you're making. If the man is worth it and you feel in your heart and in your guts, he really looks like somebody you can have something with him, chase him. Don't let him go. it doesn't mean you're desperate. It means you have noticed something from this guy that you feel can be helpful and can lead you into making something together with a man. If you don't chase him and he's a good guy, another good woman will chase him. And he will feel good about it. And he will go after that other woman who is also chasing him. As I said, dating has changed. These days, you don't sit in your house and pray to God that a man is going to come and begin chasing you. It's no longer that way. I want to move on to the next biggest mistake, number 7. I'm winding up. This is to do with sex. Ladies, let me ask you, how long should you deny a man sex? How long should you deny him sex? This has the Steve Harvey rule of 90 days. All ladies, each lady has their own special way of denying sex up to the time. There are ladies who have denied sex to a man for more than 2 years. And once the man got the sex, he walked away. Yes or no? There are many women who have given sex to the man within 1 month and they ended up dating. Yes or no? The point is not about how long you should hold sex. The point is any strong, independent woman should give this sex in her own terms. The man should struggle to get the sex. And it's this one, let me just explain this one briefly. Like I can see a comment, it's very tricky. Any woman who understands that this is a good man, I'm gonna give him sex in my own terms. I'm gonna deny him in my own terms, even if he forces me, begs me, cries, or even those women who decide to do it anyway within a very short time. It's their own terms. They do it from their heart. I mean, you cannot control everyone and say, hey, 90 days. How many have stayed for 90 days? Are they married right now? What I'm insisting on this one, sex or denying sex is not going to make a man to become serious. But the way you play around in giving him this sex with your own terms, making him to struggle to even get that sex next time, somehow makes him to become serious. Give it in your own terms. As I wind up, some of these next reasons that I'm going to share with you are, it's about a man. The man. Now let me talk about this man. This man that Benjamin is talking about, the mistakes that I'm making as a woman. Not respecting his personal space. Personal space is like now we are social distancing. Personal space is something that you need to ask the man. Why do you need a personal space? You know, there are men who give you blue ticks. They ignore your phone calls. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to open. But in other words, they're just telling you need a personal space. Any smart lady would ask the man, okay, Patrick, I understand you do not want to talk with me. Would you like me to give you some time, some space for you to do what you want to do before we talk? A very nice way to approach the situation. If you do not respect, even you as a lady who is watching this video, if a man does not respect your space, you get offended, you shut off, and you don't want to listen to his stories. Ensure that you find out if this person wants a personal space anytime you feel you want to meet him or talk to him. Of course, I know personal space means time to flat around. And sometimes men are very weird, eh? Or ladies assume when a man says, I need my personal space, oh, I think Benjamin needs some space to speak and talk to the other woman. Make sure you confirm why he needs that space. And if you're a man who is watching this video, of course, I have to talk to you, my brother. If you need a personal space, try to explain why. This is the most difficult part where people begin fighting. Why do you need personal space? Are you planning for a divorce? Are you planning to cancel our proposal that we are going to get married soon? Make sure you know the reasons why this person needs personal space. The other reason why, or the other big mistake that you can make is not having your life. You are depending on this guy. You are depending on him to make you happy, to make you complete, to feel loved, to pay your bills. You have no life whatsoever. You have no friends. You are looking for a man to become your friend. This is one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make in your entire life. If you are sitting there pretty easy, you haven't figured out your past mistakes, you haven't grown or healed to become better, to know what went wrong in your past relationship, and then you want this man to come into your life to begin making you smile again, to begin making you understand the meaning of love. You're bringing all your insecurities to this young man. It's going to be a very big mistake that you'll ever make. Some men will take that as an advantage. They will say, okay, she's coming from a failed relationship, a failed marriage. Let me pretend I'm an advisor. Let me counsel her. Let me make her feel safe. Let me make her happy again. But all this thing the man is doing is, let me have this free sex until she realizes that I wasn't helping her. Have you ever talked to a man when you are going through pain from another man and the same man turned and wanted to have sex with you? Have you ever been in that situation? If you have ever been there, I'm talking about you. Don't do that mistake again. If you go to a man, explain to him what is going on in your life, and then you think that he is a very good listener. He's a very, very understanding man. He is a very kind person. For once you have met somebody who understands you, even if it's a pastor, a church leader, a priest, most of the men take that opportunity to continue using you. Do not ever make that mistake of thinking that a man is going to finally begin making you happy. Finally, the last two mistakes that you can ever make. I've talked about this one in my videos, not appreciating what he is doing. I love women who appreciate my job, my work, my passion, my dreams. Any man who sits down and says, hey, wait a minute, this lady really appreciates me. I make mistakes, of course. Benjamin is not a perfect guy. Honestly speaking, I'm not a perfect man. I have my own mistakes. But any man will tell you that a woman who is always appreciating anything that he is doing and not focusing on the mistakes, because ladies have been wired to focus on the mistakes, because you're struggling to get a perfect guy or a Mr. Right. He makes this mistake today, but the last 2 weeks, this guy was doing really good. He was checking up on you, calling you, texting you. I mean, he has made some good things to you. He has been a good guy. But the moment a man realizes that you're focusing on not appreciating him, the things that he's also doing, and you're focusing on his mistakes, that's the biggest mistake you can ever make. Maybe the man was going to get better. Who knows? Maybe he was going to learn. Maybe if you gave him time, he was going to improve. But this brings me to the last two biggest mistakes. Trying to change a man. Another question that I'm asking you now: how many men have you ever tried to change and they changed? From their dressing style, their drinking habits, the way they talk, their anger issues. How many men in your life did you try to change and they finally changed? Most women, beginning with your mother or your grandmother, will tell you, I tried my best to your father. I did my best to my daughter, but it didn't work. He changed a little bit, but later on, when he was getting old. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is trying to change a person. If you are not liking the way he is, you take it or you leave it. Let me repeat that one. If you do not like this guy the way he is, you take it or you leave it. If he's drinking alcohol or he's a smoker, don't assume, don't pray, don't think, don't believe that he's going to stop smoking because of you. If he's a player, don't think that if you give him lots and lots of sex, he's going to change. You take it the way it is, or you leave him and keep it moving. Go to the next one that you feel is much better. Biggest mistake you can ever make is trying to change a man in your life. And last one, but not least, going too fast. Going too fast. This is like the mother of all the 13 reasons that I've been sharing with you. You see, when a lady reaches that point where now, okay, now Benjamin, breathe in, breathe out. Now where I have reached, I think honestly, I need somebody in my life. So the moment she lands on a potential person, potential in quotes, the lady will be so tempted to push everything so fast. You know that. You have seen it maybe in your aunts or older sisters. Pushing it so fast. Let's summarize these things quickly. Let's have this wedding before December. Let's pay the dowry before July. When you go too fast, most ladies, the mistake they make is when you're going too fast, you ignore the red flags. You say, okay, Benjamin, you can talk on this video, but my wedding, if it's not this coronavirus, our wedding was going to take place this coming June. Thank you for that. Congratulations in advance. But when a lady is rushing all these things, she puts aside the red flags and says, once we get married, once we start staying together, he will change. He will have no time to flat around. He will have me 24/7. We will have children together. This is one of the worst mistakes you can ever make, by rushing things and ignoring all the red flags, simply because your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters, your friends are getting married, they are having children, they are settling down, and look at you. Look at you. When are you going to settle down? And those ladies know it. The ones that have made this mistake of rushing too fast, they know it. Once you're in there, marriages don't change people. Weddings don't change a man's habits. There is no wedding that has made somebody who is abusive to become a better man. Paying the dowry does not mean that the man is finally going to stick to you as a woman. or going to respect you. But ignoring these red flags and deal breakers is one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make. Out of the 13 mistakes that I've shared with you, which one have you ever made in your life? Put it there on the comment. I didn't read any person's name on this video. I just wanted to speak with you candidly, like me, Benjamin, speaking to you. You're watching me in your bed, in your office, at home, at work, wherever you are. Just me and you. Just me and you with your phone, and you're listening to me. These 13 mistakes are not exhaustive. What I want to encourage you is have a piece of paper and pen. I have my notes here. I have these papers here, so many of them. All this I write them down. Then I reflect back about my life and the women that I've dated in my life and the mistakes they did when they thought they were dating me, or I thought that we were dating, or we were in love. And this is just what I've gone through, what I've done, what ladies have done with me, what I've done with ladies. If you missed this video, you can rewatch it again when you are relaxed from the beginning up to the end. If these mistakes do not speak any message to you as a lady, God will bless you with a beautiful daughter. Or God has blessed you with a beautiful daughter. She's next on the line. She's next on the line. My daughter, I would love to share all these 13 biggest mistakes to her life, to her, and every single day. You as a woman who is watching me now, if God has blessed you with your daughter, she's becoming a teenager, she's beautiful, she's attractive, she's a potential victim of making these mistakes. Teach her, tell her, remind her, educate her, talk to her, and do not stop. That is my job as a teacher. Teachers, we repeat, we emphasize, we repeat and repeat, because repetition is boring, but repetition finally somebody gets the message. Yeah, now I understand. Now I get what you say. And that's why in the news, when you open the news channel right now, of course they're talking about Corona. But if the news channel is for 1 hour, in 1 hour, they will repeat the same story. Donald Trump has said blah, 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 blah. Next, the Prime Minister of Japan has said blah, blah, blah. And then they repeat the same story until you get the message. Do that to your daughter. You will save her, because as I said, the second biggest mistake is dating has changed. You like it or not, dating has changed. Modern dating has completely changed, and it will continue changing until it will just be, okay, I give up Benjamin, like now I'm giving up on this video. Let me just remain alone and enjoy with my life. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it for the first time and you watched me, I hope you follow me on my Facebook account, together with my Instagram account, Benjamin_Bogonko. I was planning to do this video on my Instagram where I'm just sleeping on my bed and I'm just free. But on Facebook, I'm more cool, calm, and relaxed. Hey, thank you for watching this video. I don't take it for granted. Stay safe. I will check up on you again tomorrow just to ensure that everyone is okay. The people watch my videos. Stay safe wherever you are. Check up on your family members. And more importantly, remain healthy. Keep smiling. Thank you. God bless you. See you in the next live video. Goodbye.